So what's good, TMG fam? Listen, the next video we get into is the largest comet found to possibly enter our solar system in 2031. All right. Now, I know, a lot of people don't feel like something like this can happen to us. A lot of us are delusional, but the reality of the situation is it can happen at any moment. Any moment. And we might not even catch it until it's too late. And then some things, we can catch it and there's still nothing we can do about it at all. You know what I'm saying? But it just, I don't know, man. I see certain comments sometimes and I see certain people and they don't get alarmed until they get that, well, we interrupt this regularly scheduled programming to bring to you, and then they drop this bombshell on the news when we've been paying attention to it all along. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into this video, man, because I feel like comets don't get talked about enough. We talked about asteroids, you know what I mean? We talk about meteors, but we're going to get into some comet talk today. So if you're new, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and join the fam. Let's try to learn something.
Space is full of diverse objects we don't know much about. That's why they capture our interest every time we spot them. But with this thrill often comes fear, especially whenever there's a comet heading towards us. It's no surprise we haven't got a clue on how to stop an asteroid or comet from hitting the planet. But soon, having such technology might become vital. New scientists operating one of the most advanced astro cameras have just made an eye-opening finding. They detected a monster comet that's already in our solar system, and it's moving fast.
Now, the information I got on comets is it's comprised of what? Dust, ice, and that's another element. Is it gas? No, it's dust, ice, and something else. I don't know. It sounds like drugs. That's how I used to tell myself to remember what it was comprised of.
In August of 2013, scientists launched a project to map a portion of the southern sky, which completed in 2019. It's called the Dark Energy Survey. An incredible 570 megapixel camera called the Dark Energy Camera grabbed data from over 300 million galaxies amounting to 50 million megabytes. Scientists have just begun to go over that data, and they found something that they didn't expect. Data created 32 images showing a blurry dot in the darkness of space, located about 2.5 billion miles away from Earth. It wasn't until it got close to the planet Uranus that astronomers were finally able to figure out what this strange object was. What scientists detected was a comet with a size 1,000 times above average. It was dubbed C2014-UN271, also known as Bernardinelli-Bernstein, after its discoverers. Given the amount of sunlight it reflects, astronomers speculate the object's diameter is somewhere in between 60 to 125 miles. That's an insanely big number. To compare, an asteroid that wiped dinosaurs out of existence is thought to have been just around 6 to 9 miles wide. But since Bernardinelli-Bernstein is still so far away, it's not clear whether the calculations are close to real measurements. Another fascinating fact about this comet is that the last time it entered our solar system was 3 million years ago. That's about the same time a well-known human ancestor, Lucy, lived. Given such a long orbital period, it seems the comet should have come from a very distant place. And it happens there's just such a place, believed to be home to trillions of comets. It's a place called Oort cloud, a spherically shaped region of space containing various remnants from the early ages of our solar system. The Oort cloud is located far beyond the dwarf planet Pluto and might stretch to 10,000 AU from our star. So scientists think Bernardinelli-Bernstein is the most remote comet we've successfully spotted on its way to us. Such an early discovery gives us plenty of time to study this comet and eventually explain its nature. So
that's all we got time for, is to study it. But if it's on the course or path of coming at us, I mean, what can we do? Now, this is so far-fetched, but I I've talked about this and brought up this idea, and I know it's not possible, but it's cool that a kid like me can dream, right? You know how the International Space Station, they designed the rockets to put, I know, but they designed the rockets on the International Space Station so it could dodge and dip around and move and get out of the way of different space debris that's coming at it or in its path that could, you know what I mean, potentially hit it or knock it off its course or damage it or something like that. So we got to figure out some kind of way to get these rockets on our planet to be able to shift ourselves and move ourselves around out the way of stuff that could potentially be catastrophic to our planet, man. We got to figure something out, bro. I know it's not even possible, but can a kid dream?
Gives us plenty of time to study this comet and eventually explain its nature. So when will it get close to us? According to scientific estimates, the closest encounter with the Bernardinelli-Bernstein comet will come in 2031. So far, astronomers claim the comet imposes no threat, as it will fly by at a significant distance from us. The closest it will get is 11 astronomical units. That's about 10 times farther away from the sun than the Earth.
Now, I know a lot of people heard that and said, oh, see, L, it ain't even gonna hit us. Stop that, bro. Stop thinking that. Because here's the thing, right? We're tracking it for a reason, and it's coming towards us, right? But they don't project it to come closer, hit us, or anything like that. What's to say it doesn't hit something and it changes its trajectory? It's so much stuff flying around space, bro, that could hit it, impact it, change its course, and do something. So I think sometimes they're wrong for saying stuff like that, bro. And I get it. They're trying to keep people calm and stuff like that. But no, don't just say it could. We should still be working to try to figure out how to knock its way, send something to it to knock it off its course. You know what I mean? Like dark, like they do, you know? And then they say the year 2031. I know a lot of y'all did the same thing I did when they put that year out. You thought about how old you'll be when that comes, how much you can get done in that time span. I know.
Is 11 astronomical units. That's about 10 times farther away from the sun than the Earth. It won't even be visible in the sky with the naked eye. But since comets' behavior is hardly predictable, we don't know what to expect.
Exactly.
Unlike Bernardinelli-Bernstein, certain celestial objects will get much closer to us, and a lot sooner. One of such space guests is a killer asteroid that will fly by within less than 0.07 AU. In just about a year, a binary asteroid named Didymos, accompanied by the smaller Didymoon, will make a near-Earth approach. The bigger asteroid is roughly 780 meters in diameter, while the smaller one is just about 160 meters. However, that's more than enough to make a crater that's 6 miles wide and demolish entire cities. Even space rocks that are 500 feet wide are capable of exploding with the energy equal to a nuclear bomb. A meteor, a tiny piece of an asteroid or a comet that exploded over Chelyabinsk, Russia, created a massive shockwave. As a result, tons of buildings were damaged and roughly 1,500 people were injured. And it was only about 65 feet wide. But data concerning asteroid impacts has become even more disturbing. NASA has recently conducted an experiment that proved we wouldn't be able to do anything about an asteroid heading straight towards us, even if we had 6 months warning. The simulation of the hypothetical scenario involved an asteroid at a distance of 35 million miles. Throughout each phase of the exercise that lasted a week, scientists received more and more data about the asteroid.
So basically, the only thing you could do was go get you a Starbucks coffee, sit outside, and watch the show. That's all you can do, you know what I mean? Maybe you don't like Starbucks, maybe you go somewhere else, but you get what I'm saying.
Exercise that lasted a week, scientists received more and more data about the asteroid. They found out about the object's course, odds of hitting our planet, and its size, but they couldn't come up with a working solution to deflect it. Turns out we haven't yet invented spacecraft that could eliminate such a threat within 6 months. In fact, such a mission would take us 5 to 10 years. In the simulation, the asteroid would have landed on Eastern Europe. In fact, the only way to escape the big rock was to evacuate the impact area. And that's not helping us too much. But as we know, some things that don't work out in theory can show us good results in practice. So now, NASA plans to smash a spacecraft about the size of a refrigerator into the smaller Didymoon asteroid that was mentioned earlier. The mission is called Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART. The idea is to take this half-ton spacecraft and crash it into Didymoon around 4 miles per second. The launch will take place sometime between November the 24th, 2021 and February 15th, 2022. However, the collision should happen between September and October 2022. This is going to be the very first test using the kinetic impactor technique to alter an asteroid's trajectory and speed, and will be a kind of military training in terms of space. Now, Didymos doesn't threaten Earth yet, but NASA's database contains more than 2,000 potentially hazardous asteroids that can get as close to us as 0.05.
Say what? 2,000 potential dangers and threats? And here we are just walking around every day like, and don't even know what's going on. What potential dangers we got that we facing? Granted, walking out your house, you face dangers every single day. I get that. Yes, I get that. I'm just talking about we don't even know the extent of what could be happening or what's in store for us, bro. Shout outs to NASA. You know what I mean?
More than 2,000 potentially hazardous asteroids that can get as close to us as 0.05 astronomical units. Asteroids and comets are often hard to detect, even with the most advanced technology.
That's
but
true.
At times, people equipped with homemade telescopes make huge discoveries. Just 2 years ago, an amateur astronomer named Gennady Borisov stumbled across a celestial object with a peculiar trajectory. Turns out he found a comet, and not an ordinary one either. It was later discovered by scientists that 2I Borisov is a rogue comet. This is because this type of comet has no steady orbit and will freely float through space until affected by another celestial object. As astronomers continued to study 2I Borisov, they used NASA's Hubble Space Telescope and Atacama Large Millimeter Array, ALMA, to figure out the comet's extraordinary composition. It had an abundance of carbon monoxide they didn't expect to see, and knowing about this high concentration of carbon monoxide, scientists made assumptions about its origin. So far, astronomers have come to the conclusion it should have been created in a place overflowing with CO ice. Such an abundance of CO ice is only present in space regions with a temperature below -420 degrees Fahrenheit. There are two theories about how the comet formed. It could have been born around a red dwarf, a relatively small star with a low surface temperature. Otherwise, it could be a tiny fragment of a dwarf planet. This has become the first comet that entered our solar system from a place outside of our star's influence. But this is not the only thing that captured astronomers' attention. When approaching a star, a comet's particles start to melt and generate a fuzzy cloud around its nucleus. This cloud is called a coma. So what scientists noticed was a unique polarization in Borisov's dust grains. Now, polarization is the direction light waves ripple in space. The higher the polarization, the more focused the light is in a single direction. That's exactly what 2I Borisov's coma demonstrated. In the scientific community, this was a big deal. Similar to the way our skin reacts to direct sunlight, the more a comet interacts with a star, the bigger the impact on its materials. Eventually, the polarization of the comet's coma gets reduced. But what we see with Borisov's comet is quite the opposite. This can only mean one thing. It has rarely or never bathed in a star's light, radiation, or winds. So it's one of the most untouched and well-preserved comets we've ever detected. This leads us to the conclusion that the comet contains unaltered information about the materials that formed it in the first place, which could have happened some thousands, millions, or even billions of years ago. And since astronomers believe the birthplace of 2I Borisov partially resembles our solar system, that comet can reveal valuable information about another solar system much like ours. Borisov's comet already traveled past our sun in 2019. But this doesn't mean there aren't any other celestial objects about to visit us. We can only hope our telescopes will look in the right direction and at the right time so that we can prepare ourselves once they show up.
And we need more of them.
It seems no matter how fast we technologically evolve, this is not quite enough to ensure absolute safety and tranquility. Still, the most powerful resource we've got is our brains, so it's crucial that more and more people get involved in space science. To stay up to date about other amazing things happening in our universe, make sure you stay tuned here. Thanks for watching.
That's That's all I'm saying, man. Like, more heads, bro, more brains. We can get a lot more done. We can figure out a lot more things. Y'all are super smart. The more people we get and spread the word to, bro, imagine what we can do and come up with and prevent and stop from happening. Like, one thing about us, bro, we'll figure something out. We will figure something out. We just got to continue to spread the word out. So I feel like I'm starting to do my part. You know what I mean? Now that I'm unplugged out the matrix, because I was walking around plugged in too much. Then Morpheus had to come and unplug me out. I feel like I'm unplugged out and I'm starting to see it for what it is now. So yeah, we need to get more people to have some interest in this, man. And I ain't trying to say they got to delve as deep as we are, because we both feed in. But just to get them to see and tap in with us, and maybe, you know what I mean, we can figure out a lot more, man. NASA definitely needs the help. They're doing a great job, but they can definitely use the help for real, for real. So, but y'all get at me in the comment section, man, and let me know what you thought of this video. Last comment found that possibly enter our solar system in 2031. All right. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around and stay tuned. Till next one, I'm gone. Peace.